screened.
Leavers sought to table that document. Is there any objection? There is no objection. And that brings to a close questions for oral answer. I call on the adjourned debate on the motion for an address in reply.
Speaker.
Reply to His Excellency the Governor-General's speech from the throne and the amendment proposed thereto.
Since Pēsatā Sam Lotu-Iiga moved the adjournment of the debate, I now call Pēsatā Sam Lotu-Iiga to speak first.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, it's a pleasure to participate in the address and reply debate. And may I first, Mr. Speaker, congratulate you on your reappointment to the office of Speaker. And secondly, may I congratulate all new members who are part of the 50th Parliament of New Zealand. Sir, the Prime Minister has laid out clearly our government's 4 priorities. The first of these, sir, is to responsibly manage the government's finances. And in a world as it is today, and last night, sir, we saw Moody's downgrade both Spain and Portugal. We saw a Greek Parliament pass austerity measures in order to combat the evils of debt. Sir, it is important that our government control the debt path that our country is heading towards. And sir, it's about budgeting carefully and deciding on which things are important, which things to prioritise on. And as with our own personal finances and our household finances, we would not go years of spending more than we earn. So, sir, this government is committed to returning to surplus in 2014-2015 financial year. Secondly, sir, we're about building a more productive and competitive economy. We've seen under this government, for the first time in many years, a trade surplus, and when we look at the record of the last government, 5 consecutive years, sir, of diminishing export levels, we know that the focus of a brighter future, the focus of jobs and opportunities must come through the export-focused economy. And what does it mean? What does it mean? It means selling more of what the world wants. It means selling at a competitive price and building on a solid base of innovation. And in both 2012 and 2013, our economy is forecast to grow more strongly than the Eurozone, the UK, Japan, the United States, as well as Canada. Good to see you back in the House, Mr. Cunliffe. Don't know about the beard, but good to see you anyway. Again, the European crisis offers some lessons. It offers lessons, sir, because it's about...
Order. Order. I'd actually like to hear what the member is saying, so keep the interjections low. Senator Sam Lotu-Iiga.
Sir, it's about competitiveness, as I was saying. The second reason is because our competitiveness has declined over the 2000s, over the period of the 2000s. And as a result, industries and sectors that were competing internationally have gone into recession. And we've got to do something about that. So what has this government done? It's turned that around with a 120-point economic plan, sir. And I hold here some of the answers to peel back some of the poor performance that the Labor government gave us over the 9 years. And what does it include? It includes a future investment fund. It means investing in our future, investing in our kids. The schools and the early childhood centres that have been built across this country are part of the solution going forward. Sir, it's about a 120-point plan that will bring us into the 21st century. It's about... Mr Bridges wants to know what it's about. It's about some of the roads that go into Tauranga, Mr Bridges. That's right. And Hamilton too. What else is it about? It's about broadband. Broadband and connectivity between our cities as well as with the world. Because we're able to live in this country and make goods and services and export these across the world. That's what it is about. Sir, we also need, when I talk to our businesses in Maunga Kēkē, they ask about the exchange rate, they ask about access to capital, and this government in the last 3 years has reformed so much of the capital markets. We created the Financial Markets Authority. Admittedly, with the help of the whole House, it's a policy that had cross-party support. But what it creates is a regulator that actually has teeth, has resources, and will enforce some of the really dreaded parts of financial markets where so many mum and dad investors were taken for a ride, sir. So we will reform the Securities Act, which is 34 years old and needs refining. We will ensure that our capital markets operate with confidence and trust, but also that the regulatory authority has the resources to enforce those matters in our capital markets. We're also looking at furthering our RMA reforms. Resource Management Act, when you talk to users of council facilities, they say one of the things around consents is that they take too long, they cost too much, and there is so much uncertainty as to when and how a resource or a building consent may be issued. So we're introducing a 6-month time limit for some of the consenting of medium-sized projects, sir. We're encouraging oil and gas exploration, and that's with a new system of processing permits. And whereas our opposition parties will look at our Australian cousins and brothers and sisters, and they will compare ourselves to that country, when you look at that country, though, you look at how effective they use their minerals and their resources. And, sir, if we are going to be competitive not just with Australia, but the rest of the world, we really need to get our act together in terms of exploration, in terms of using our minerals, oil and gas resources in this country. We're also negotiating free trade agreements. And while I admit that we're carrying on the good work of the last government, we are working on the Trans-Pacific Partnership, including the United States, and as well as other free trade agreements which will increase our access to markets around the world and increase our opportunities for job growth in our export sector. And of course, sir, we are talking also about the mixed ownership model, extending that to 4 state-owned enterprise companies that will make better use of New Zealand's balance sheet. It's about providing investment opportunities for our mum and dad investors, because they can't just invest in telecom, they can't just invest in a few public companies, but these investment opportunities, they will provide some solid returns going into the future. Also, for a company like Mighty River Power, that needs access to more resources, with their geothermal technological expertise and their ability to expand across the globe. They're in Chile, they're in Germany, the US, but they're looking to get further into Southeast Asia. These investments will provide them with the capital and the expertise to extend those exports overseas. Sir, the final bit of reform, especially this year, that will be important, and I sit as the chair of the Social Services Select Committee, we will be reforming welfare. And welfare is about getting people who can work to work. It will be about providing a safety net for those that need help, but providing incentives for those that need to go out and earn a living. Sir, I've set out the government's priorities. I'm proud to represent this second-term national government. It's a government that is about action. It's a government that is about producing jobs and opportunities, sir, and it's a government that will deliver on its promises. Thank you very much.
Call the Honourable David Parker.
Thank you, Mr.